All right, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. We have our guest today, Beena Sarwar, who focuses on who's a journalist and a filmmaker, and whose areas of interest are focus areas are human rights, gender, media, peace, extreme violence, and South Asia. Uh, so welcome, Beena ji. Thank you so much for agreeing to giving us this interview in a very last minute and a short notice. Uh, I would start off by asking you first question: how do you feel today? How are you feeling today?
Good.
Awesome. And did I miss any of your introductions that I should have mentioned? Because I know you are spread across different areas of interest in terms of journalism, in terms of filmmaking, and I tried to put in as much context as possible for you in terms of introduction. Did I miss out anything that you'd want to tell our audience
I
about?
think what I would like to say is just that I also like to focus on media ethics and responsibility. And as a teacher, teaching journalism, also learning about. We have been doing journalism for a long time, but teaching you always also learn when you teach. So one of the things I've realized is the importance of teaching about ethics and responsibility and the journalistic, like the process.
Awesome.
That I think anybody who uses social media should be aware of, because everybody is now a citizen journalist if they are news producers and consumers themselves.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. So, are you ready for this tough Q&A session with MC Solanki
Gee,
from Austin Daisy podcast?
bracing myself.
Awesome. So let's get started. So I'd want to ask your first question. Uh, let's start off with this main topic. What is your point of view on the upcoming elections that we have in the United States, and how would that positively or negatively or maybe in neutral sense affect the immigrants that who are here for their livelihood? What is your thought on that?
I think first of all, everybody needs to get out and vote, and everybody needs to get out and vote for somebody who is not going to have a negative impact. And I think being involved in politics and the political process is important. So I think that's. You can't say what the outcome is going to be. So we just have to see. We
Awesome.
can just hope for the best. I think right now things are a bit tight.
So the conclusion out of this is go and vote. I think that's the primary
Yeah,
output that we are
yeah,
looking
yeah,
forward for.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I think you can guess who I would say not to vote for.
Right. Okay. And based on the little research that I have done about you, I think my next question is more on what motivates you to keep going and keep doing this job, because I know you travel a lot, you report a lot, you're into filmmaking, you're into different, you have a huge network across the globe. Now that I've seen your film, I can say that. Uh, what motivates you to keep going in terms of work? What pushes you? Like, what do you think when you wake up in the morning? Hey, let's get this done. Let's do this.
I don't know about wake up in the morning and let's get this done and do this, but I think what motivates me is actually mm, the young people that I meet, and like the need to sort of leave the world a better place than I found it
Awesome,
in some
awesome.
way. And I know there's no quick fixes, there's no easy answer, and I know it's a process. So it's just about keeping on taking the steps, doing what you can every day to do something to help someone or to help a wider.
Awesome, awesome. And on that context, I have to say you that you are an inspiration to a lot of others. Like for example, me, I like being on the mic. I like talking to people. I like getting stories out. I like going to different places in terms of field. So you somewhere act as a motivation for us as well. So absolutely, thank you so much for that. So my next question is more on the core journalism part as to how, what extent should a journalist go for to get a story. Like, let's take an example. You you have a story which can go places and which can probably destroy the media or impact the media at a very large volume. What extent should a journalist go to get that story?
That's
uh,
a really
uh,
good question.
yeah.
I would say that you have to follow your conscience. I would say follow the principle of doing no harm. is what you're going to do be harmful? And not, I'm not talking about the people who are in public positions. It's not about trying not to harm them. I'm talking about like ordinary people or causes or something like that. Trying to sort of do something that's positive and that's good, I think, and also like to make sure that you follow the basic verification. Don't get into a reactive sort of a mode, things like that.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. And I think my next question is more on the context of how and why should somebody pick up journalism. So my question is, when is the right time you get a calling that, hey, I should be a journalist? So this question is more on the context of how do we promote journalism, because not this is a very niche field, right? So probably my question is more on that context. When can one say that, hey, journalism fits my portfolio, or this is my forte, let me go ahead? So when did you get your calling? Probably, let me put it that way, when did you get your calling that, hey, I think this field is best for me?
I never got that calling.
Then how did you end up
I
here?
think
So
I think what happens is I got into it, and I think it's an addiction. I think when you get into journalism, if you want to do it because you're not in it to make money, and you're in it because you want to help people or give a platform to people. You want to promote causes or whatever, but you want to also, be fair. I think that's the biggest thing is to promote that sense of fairness. So I think I got it. I was an intern out of high school in a paper with my first editor was Zora Yusuf, who's former head of the Human Rights Commission. She's the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan also. And then I thought I was going to be an artist because I paint and stuff, and I was like, I'm going to be an artist and I'm going to sell paintings. But I think I really liked working with people, and being an artist is very solitary. I think so. But the more journalism I did, the less art I did, and so I just, like, it's just something that's like I just do. It's just I don't think I ever thought, oh, I'm a journalist, I'm going to be a journalist. I just sort of went into it, and then I just couldn't leave it.
awesome. Let's end this question with one piece of advice that you would like a future journalist to take from you, just in a single statement or a single line, or probably a single word as well. What would that be?
Listen.
Listen.
I don't like giving advice very much, and yeah, I think that if people would listen more, it would be helpful.
Awesome. So, future journalist, that's your answer. So, okay, now this question is more because you are sailing on two different boats, if I may say so, because one is filmmaking and the other one being journalism. So, what are two similarities or differences that you observe between these two fields? Because both are unique in their own way, at the same time similar as well, because you go and talk to people.
Well, the filmmaking I do is documentary filmmaking, so it is journalism. I do non-fiction, I do journalistic filmmaking, so that is journalism. It's not different than journalism.
Awesome. Thank you. So
I mean, I'm not making things up.
right.
I'm not fictionalizing things. I'm not.
So you're basically portraying what you see and what
Yeah.
you speak to people.
Yes.
So that is
I'm,
your definition of
it's
filmmaking.
journalism. That's the kind of film. That's the kind of
Correct, correct. So you're not into the commercial side of filmmaking. It's more on the documentary side. What you see and what you speak is what you show. Basically, that's where it is. Okay,
and providing the context.
okay,
That's very important.
okay. And this is more on, now that you have seen enough world, if I may say so. What is your definition of success? It could be in general, or it could be in your prospective field as well. What is your definition of success? Because it varies from every person, every field. What do you have to say about it?
What about it? I mean, it's just like if you. I think for
Am I
me, if I'm
putting you
doing
under
my
the bus right now?
no, it's just that if I feel I'm doing, I think success for me is if I'm doing my work, if I feel like I'm doing my work well, and it's helping someone, then that is success for me.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's more like an everyday success. If you are able to finish a task, able to help somebody, you are successful in that one, and then you go to the next one.
I don't have big goals and long term.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for answering all those questions in as nice a way as possible. I think we have one small riddle for you. It's not a riddle, it's more of a funny way. If you can tell our audience to go follow Austin Desi podcast, that would be very helpful for us.
Hey, go follow Austin Desi podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.